Attention passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 8,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news now. Let us talk about what has been happening with the Dallas Cowboys lately, especially when it comes to their defense and some of the recent comments and decisions that have fans, analysts, and even insiders talking nonstop. It has been a rough patch for the Cowboys' defense. No doubt, after allowing 30 points in that game against the Carolina Panthers, a game that could only be described as embarrassing for a team with playoff aspirations. It's natural that the fan base is feeling the heat. Cowboys fans are passionate, and when things go south, they want answers. They want accountability, and most of all, they want their team to bounce back strong. Let's be honest here. The defense has been the main punchline, or perhaps the main villain in the NFL over the last few weeks. It has one thing to lose a game, but giving up 30 points and not just losing, but doing so in a way that exposes so many flaws really stings. The defense, which was supposed to be a strength, has struggled to find consistency. And it's not just about one or two players or a single game. It has a pattern that's raising eyebrows across the league. When your unit allows that kind of scoring, questions start swirling and fans begin demanding changes or at least some clear answers on what's going wrong. But here is where things get even more interesting. Despite the criticism, the Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones, has made it clear that he isn't considering firing the coaching staff mid-season. That's pretty much in his DNA. Loyalty runs deep with Jones, and he has not one to make knee-jerk reactions. Instead, he has sticking to his guns, backing his coaches, and trying to project confidence that his team can turn things around. When Brian Scott and Hammer, the offensive coordinator, went to bat for Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator, after that tough loss, Jones echoed that support during his appearance on 105.3 The Fan, doubling down on his loyalty to Eberflus and confirming that it was he who made the call to bring Eber on board in the first place. Jones' words were quite telling. He said that's who I want in the foxhole with me, emphasizing that he still believes in Eberflus and the vision he has for the defense despite recent struggles. He pointed out that what the Cowboys are facing isn't just one or two major issues but a lot of little things that guarantee clicking. That's an important distinction because it shows that the ownership and the front office guarantee just pointing fingers, but genuinely believe that with some adjustments the defense can find its footing again. Yet, for those who follow the team closely, it has hard not to wonder if all this talk about loyalty and sticking with the plan might be a way of just holding the line until the season is over rather than making bold changes. Now, and let us not forget about Jerry Jones' history of hiring familiar faces. That is something that has defined much of his tenure, bringing in coaches, coordinators, and executives that he has comfortable with, people he trusts, even if that trust does always translate into success on the field. Last year, for example, he brought in Mike Zimmer to take over the defense after Dan Quinn. Zimmer, of course, has a storied NFL history and previous ties to the Cowboys, having served as their defensive coordinator from 2000 to 2006. As well as a defensive assistant for 6 seasons before that. It has a pattern bringing in familiar faces in hopes of stabilizing the team or fixing certain issues, even if the results guarantee immediately evident. Now shifting gears slightly, it is worth mentioning the background of Eberflus himself. He was a highly regarded college DC at Missouri and in the NFL. He made his bones as Dallas linebackers coach for 7 years. That has a significant tenure from 2011 to 2017. During which he helped develop some of the team's best linebackers, including Sean Lee, who was one of the league's top at his position during that time. Eberflus was also at the helm during Rolando Milan's impressive 2-year run, which despite the ups and downs, showed that he could develop talent and implement a system. But his hiring was heavily driven by Jones, not Scott and Hammer, who clearly had a different vision for the offense and defense, while Scott clearly had a hand in building the offensive staff, including offensive coordinator Clayton Adams and offensive line coach Connor Riley. The decision to bring in Eberflus was all Jerry. That's an important detail because it highlights how much influence the owner has over personnel decisions, beyond just players, and it's a double-edged sword. On one side, familiarity and trust can breed stability, but on the other, It might limit the team's ability to adapt and evolve. Now looking at the personnel on the defense, it has pretty clear that the talent isn't at the level where it can carry the team on its own. The roster as it stands has some bright spots, but overall it has lacking in consistency and playmaking. Some fans have questioned the usage of certain players like Donovan Wilson playing deep instead of closer to the line, or Sam Williams getting the majority of snaps among the edge rushers. Even when James Houston has been available and could contribute, Kenneth Murray's continued presence on the field, despite not performing well, has also drawn criticism. All of these decisions, whether by Eberflus or the coaching staff, raise eyebrows because they seem to be more about sticking with familiar names, rather than making the tough calls that could turn the season around. And here is where things get even more intriguing. The upcoming game against the Commanders on Sunday could be a pivotal moment. Fans are already questioning whether Everfall, but it has clear that the pressure is mounting. Every play, every decision on the field is being scrutinized, and the storyline of whether this defense can improve, or if changes are imminent, will dominate the narrative in the days to come. The Cowboys have the talent to be a top-tier defense, but right now, they're not living up to expectations, and that is putting a spotlight on everyone involved. So, as we look ahead, what does this all mean for the Cowboys? Well, it has a complex picture. The team has the pieces, the talent, and the history of success to bounce back. But the questions around coaching, personnel decisions, and game day adjustments are real. It has a critical moment, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC East, where every win counts and every mistake gets magnified. The Cowboys need to find a way to tighten up and execute better. But whether they'll do that under the current coaching staff, or if changes are on the horizon, remains to be seen. What is certain is that the passion in Dallas is alive and well, and fans are not going to accept mediocrity for long. They want to see their team dominate again, and the clock is ticking. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead. It's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Looking at the bigger picture, the Cowboys are at a crossroads. They have one of the most iconic franchises in NFL history, a loyal fan base, and a roster filled with talented players who, if used correctly, can compete with the best. But right now, the cracks in the foundation are visible. The defense's struggles are emblematic of deeper issues: miscommunications, injuries, perhaps even a lack of cohesion or confidence. The coaching staff, especially Eberflus, is under scrutiny for how they're readjusting and responding to these challenges. The owner's loyalty to Everfall is clear, and he has made it known publicly that he believes in his coaching staff. But sometimes belief isn't enough. The NFL is a results-driven league, and if the Cowboys don't turn things around quickly, whispers about changes will only grow louder. Fans are craving a strong, disciplined defense that can carry the team when the offense has an off day, and they want to see a team that plays with intensity, discipline, and strategic intelligence. That's what championship teams do, and that's what the Cowboys have historically been known for. In the broader context, the NFC East is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions this season. The Eagles are still a powerhouse, the Giants are showing signs of life, and the Commanders are eager to prove they belong in the mix. For the Cowboys, every game is a must-win, especially against divisional rivals. The upcoming match against Washington could be a defining moment. Will Everfall and the coaching staff make the necessary adjustments? Will the players step up and execute better? Or will this season be remembered as another chapter of what could have been for a team that's so full of potential? Ultimately, the Cowboys' future hinges not just on talent, but also on coaching decisions, game day execution, and team chemistry. It has a delicate balance, and the pressure to perform is immense. Fans are watching closely, and their patience is wearing thin. They want to see a team that fights, that competes, and that earns victories, not just on paper, but on the field. The coming weeks will be crucial in shaping the narrative of this season, and everyone in Dallas knows it. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. Do you believe in Everfall, or do you think changes are inevitable? Are you confident that this team can turn things around, or are we looking at a rebuilding or restructuring phase? Let us know. And don't forget, we'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. We're in this together, and your voice is what makes this community great. Keep the passion alive, and let us see this team rise again. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go Cowboys!